of crony capitalism. The Mubarak and his family were simply helping their friends, and they want to see those policies undone. That's fair enough, isn't it?
No, because it's a false accusation. The system, Egypt has adapted the free economical pattern. We have adapted an investment, let's say, an active. We saw an active role for investments to come. We provided the environment for these investments to come and work and generate jobs.
Yeah, but it wasn't free though, was it? It was based upon corruption. We now know that kickbacks, sweeteners, corrupt deals were a part of Mubarak's way of doing things.
How do you know that?
Well, how else could you explain that, as we now know from Swiss banks, there are hundreds and hundreds of millions of US dollars in the bank accounts of the Mubarak family? Somebody put them there. They were paying for something.
Yeah, okay. I can tell you that most of this is outside the privatization program.
Really?
Look, I mean, you're talking to someone who worked during this system, who knows the system, who invested. You know, my family, we are the largest economic group here. I am not here to defend the Mubaraks, but I can tell you that, and we are the largest economic group in this country, we have never been subjected to any pressure to make any payments to any of this family.
You never had to pay kickbacks or sweeteners to get permits or deals or licenses? Because you run the biggest telecommunications business in this country.
Let me explain something. First of all, we are industrialists, so most of our wealth has been built on building factories that were all new. We didn't participate in the privatization program. So we have bought nothing from the privatization program. We have built everything from scratch.
But you still need, sorry to interrupt, but you still need permits.
But this is on the lower, it's on the lower level. It was never a political license or political supported event. So.
But in your plea for greater entrepreneurial spirit and for new investment, both overseas and domestic, how is that going to be delivered when your first point to me was that this economy is in limbo, there is no leadership, there is no strategy, and nobody knows where this economy is going? Why would anybody invest?
It's not going to happen, and this country will go bust in a few months. It's not going to happen, because who is going to invest when you don't have stability, you don't have a democratically elected government, the police is on strike, the lawyers are on strike, and the judges are on strike. So, I mean, you came to Egypt here in the most attractive time. I mean, because we are Egyptians, so we like to laugh on ourselves.
Well, you are smiling, but you have just said to me the most profoundly disturbing thing. You say this country is going bust, which means, frankly, the revolution is going to go bust too, because if the economy goes down, all of the hopes and dreams of the Egyptian people are going to be so much
because the revolution and the revolutionists and the people of Egypt should give Egypt a break. They should stop demonstrating, they should stop striking, they should stop requiring things, because the country right now cannot afford to give them anything.
With respect, Mr. Sawiris, it is easy for you to sit here on the 26th floor of the finest office building in Cairo and tell me the people who have virtually nothing out there have to stop demanding a little bit more.
It's not the people who have nothing are demonstrating. I would have understand that. It's not lawyers, judges, engineers, doctors, people who work in factories, people from the Egyptian telephone company who are striking have the highest salaries within any semi-public sector company. That's what I'm talking about. If these poor people in the slums strike, this I understand. If they, you know, the nicest people of Egypt are the poorest. They have never envious, they don't complain, they take a lot of hardship. The ones who always want more is the ones who have. We need to give the country a break to survive.
Do you think survival is really at stake now? That there is a real possibility that this country could go under?
Because we didn't receive any of the promises of the aid. You know, this big 30 billion from the European Communion, that they will give 30 billion to Egypt and Tunisia. We've seen zilch from that, okay? The Arab countries who have spoke big time about helping Egypt, they haven't done that yet. And why? Because in my personal opinion, they don't want this revolution to succeed. Because if it succeeds, it's like a disease. It will...
I just wonder...
Anything we're in today is better than where we were. This is a great country, you know. Even if it goes bust, it will rise again. And we will get out of this. I'm actually not upset with the government or with the army. I am upset with my people. You see, if we want to change this country, the people have to change. They cannot go out and work 3-4 hours a day and expect life to go better. They cannot go out and say, we don't have any money, we cannot live, and then get 12 children as a family.
How long will it take to change the people?
5 years.
Naguib Sawiris, thank you very much for being on Hard Talk.
Okay.
Tahrir Square is once again full of defiance. The protesters' goal is to end military rule. Only then, they say, can the building of a new Egypt begin. But cruel market forces are at work here. Every day that Egypt is without economic vision and leadership is costing the country dear.